So guys, I can't lie, today was a pretty slow news day, so here we are delving into something that's pretty obvious because we have benchmarks of the M1 iPad Pro, and well, to no one's surprise, it's a beast. It destroys the older iPad Pro, it destroys a 16-inch MacBook Pro, it's the M1 as we know it. So yeah, let's delve into that, and also some updates regarding the review embargo and the shipping times of these new iPads. Right, so let's begin with the benchmarks. So obviously MKBHD and his pals right now are putting the iPad Pro through its paces, and some of them have clearly used Geekbench to find out the score of this beast, and well, apparently that's appeared in the database because MacRumors has found evidence of 5 legitimate scores for the iPad Pro, and well, they're pretty mad. So basically, the single core score is around 1,718, and the average multi-core score is 7,284. Now, of course, you may be wondering how this compares to the older iPad Pro, and basically it demolishes it, because the average single core score for an A12Z is 1,121, and the multi-core score is 4,656. So basically, you're getting an improvement of up to 56% with the new iPad Pro. That's actually insane, and weirdly enough, that's higher than Apple's estimation they gave us on stage, where they said the M1 would be 50% faster than the A12Z. However, of course, there is statistical variation, and so these scores aren't always consistent, and there are many variables, so I'm sure Apple considered that, and hence why they went for a more conservative 50%. Now here's a few fun facts that you guys did not ask for, but I'm gonna tell you anyways. Number 1, this iPad Pro is now the fastest iOS device by around 33%, so I'm assuming that's comparing it to the A14 and the iPhone 12 and the iPad Air. But yeah, there's that. I have no idea why you need to know that, but now you know. So yeah. The next fun fact is how this compares to other MacBooks. So obviously, to no one's surprise, the M1 MacBook Air is very similar to the M1 iPad Pro. The Air has a multi-core score of 7,378 and the Pro scores 7,284, so they're pretty much identical, and that does make sense because the iPad Pro and the M1 MacBook Air are pretty much the same machine since they have a fanless design and the M1 chip. But here's where things get a little spicy. So the Core i9 version of the 16-inch MacBook Pro has an average multi-core score of 6,845, which is quite a bit less than the 7,284 that the iPad Pro produces. It's honestly quite crazy that an iPad Pro can destroy a 16-inch MacBook Pro, a very well-spec'd version at that. But this, if anything, makes me even more gutted about the lack of Pro apps on the iPad Pro, because we're just having wasted potential here. There's so much performance, but it's being crippled by the OS that really fails to take advantage of the M1 at all. And so I'm literally begging at this point that Apple gives us some huge upgrades with iPad OS 15, give us real multitasking, give us Pro apps, give us more macOS-like features, because the truth is, even the A12X of the 2018 iPad Pro is yet to be properly utilized, and so I'm really hoping that Apple takes advantage of all this extra power and really gives us some Pro features on the iPad Pro very soon. Anyways, let's end this video on 2 tidbits. Number 1, the embargo for the reviews from MKBHD and his pals should be out on the 19th of May, so we shouldn't have to wait too long for those reviews, and I'm actually looking forward to hearing more about the mini LED panel on the 12.9-inch iPad Pro. And the second tidbit is actually a question to you guys, and that is, have your iPad Pro orders begun preparing to ship? Because apparently, some truly lucky sods have their iPad Pros preparing to ship as we speak, and mine is still stuck on the processing stage, and so fingers crossed I get mine pretty soon, but let me know in the comments below, what is the status of your order? Anyways, make sure to like and subscribe for the latest Apple news and rumors, and on that note, I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya, peeps!